Morning breaks over Milwaukee with a sharp, rising energy, and inside his quiet villa, Giannis Antetokounmpo starts his day with the same focus he brings to the court. Here, away from the roar of fans and the heat of primetime games, the noise falls away. What remains is the rhythm that truly anchors him. Kids racing across the floor, the warmth of breakfast drifting through the house, and the calm that reminds him why every battle on the hardwood matters. In this space, the superstar becomes something simpler and far more human. A father, a partner, a man building a life as powerful as his game. But before we step inside that villa, let's look at the wealth that helped him build it. Giannis Antetokounmpo stands on a financial base as massive as his ascent, a net worth of $70 million built directly from record-breaking NBA money and high-yield endorsement income. His early years in Milwaukee set the base. In 2016, he signed a 4-year, $100 million extension, his first major leap into the league's elite earners. With that contract came the breakout season that turned him into the Bucks' new center of gravity. Career highs, buzzer beaters, all-star recognition, and the transformation of Milwaukee's lineup around his game. From there, the numbers only grew. The real financial turning point arrived in December 2020, when Giannis signed a 5-year, $228 million supermax, the largest deal in NBA history at the moment it was inked. It pushed his annual salary to $45 million, and when combined with the final year of his previous contract, guaranteed $256 million over 6 seasons. By October 2023, the Bucks doubled down on their future again, this time with a 3-year, $186 million extension, further cementing Giannis as the franchise's anchor for the long run. Off the court, his earnings move with the same upward momentum. Nike recognized his global potential early, signing him in 2017 to a long-term endorsement deal that now brings in at least $10 million a year. Between June 2017 and June 2018, Giannis earned $35 million from salary and endorsements. The following year, the number climbed to $43 million. And as the Greek Freak's profile rose, with MVP seasons in 2019 and 2020 and a historic championship run in 2021, so did the brands lining up beside him. Giannis's wealth grows the way his game did, steadily, then in leaps that changed everything. The $100 million deal opened the door. The $228 million supermax redefined his market, and the recent $186 million extension locked his value in place for years. With a $45 million annual salary and more than $10 million a year from endorsements, his earnings don't spike. They accumulate. That's how his net worth reached $70 million. Contract money guaranteed, brand money flowing, and a financial arc that rises as reliably as his performance. In the end, Giannis's finances land in one clear truth. He turned raw talent into guaranteed money, turned pressure into long-term security, and built a fortune designed to last. What he earns now isn't momentum, it's permanence. And that permanence shows itself most clearly in Milwaukee, inside the villa where his success settles into space, light, and family. Villa in Milwaukee. The road into River Hills grows quieter the deeper you go. The houses tucked behind long driveways and winding trees, as if they're guarding small private worlds. Giannis Antetokounmpo's villa sits even farther back, resting in a pocket of greenery that feels almost untouched. From the outside, it doesn't advertise fame. It settles into the landscape with a calm that makes sense for someone who spends most of his life in motion. Bought for $1.8 million, the home carries the easy confidence of a place built not to impress, but to hold a family steady through long seasons and long absences. Step inside, and the first feeling is warmth. Light gathers along the tall windows in a soft spill, reaching across the open entryway and into the halls beyond. The house doesn't reveal its size immediately. It opens in slow breaths, room by room, the way a familiar place does when you've learned to read its rhythm. Hardwood floors, their steps blending into the natural creaks and sighs of a home that is lived in rather than curated. Everything feels gently animated, as if the space itself stretches awake with the family each morning. The main living area settles into a wide, uncluttered expanse. Morning light lands across the sofas and the long dining table, brightening the room with a calm that contrasts the intensity of Giannis's everyday life. Evenings here often end slowly. Food served in warm bowls, conversations drifting in low tones, toys left near the fireplace until someone remembers to gather them up. The ceilings lift the house upward, carrying sound gently. It's a balance that mirrors him, grounded and reaching, simple and full. Farther in, the home shifts into spaces shaped by discipline and recovery. A private gym sits tucked behind thick walls, lit just enough for sunrise workouts. There are no mirrors needed to impress, just the quiet hum of machines and the familiar rhythm of breath and repetition. This is where Giannis resets after long road trips, where the basics take over. Strength, balance, the quiet patience of rebuilding himself for the next run. Across from it, a climate-controlled wine cellar cools the air, an understated room that offers a small exhale after nights returning from arenas still buzzing with noise. Walk toward the back of the villa and the world opens again. A wide lawn sweeps gently toward a pool that reflects the afternoon sky in deep shifting blues. In summer, the sound of water mixes with the laughter of his boys, turning the backyard into its own small universe. Trees form a natural border, leaning in like they're shielding the family from everything beyond the fence line. Out here, fame dissolves. Giannis becomes another father crouching near the pool steps, another parent following muddy footprints back toward the house. The guest house nearby mirrors the softness of the main home. Its rooms shaped for visiting family, teammates, or the people who drift in and out of his life through the season. It holds its own warmth, quiet and self-contained, with the same steady intention, to welcome without overwhelming, to give space without isolating. Over the years, the property's value rose toward $2.4 to $2.5 million, a number that feels distant once you are inside these walls. What matters isn't investment, it's insulation, a place built to protect childhoods, to soften the toll of constant travel, to keep a family anchored through the shifting rhythm of an NBA life. What this villa gives Giannis, more than anything, is space. Space to breathe after back-to-backs, to cook dinner with his wife while their boys play under the counter, to stretch on the living room floor with the TV murmuring in the background. Space to leave the arena behind. Space to return to himself. Within these walls, success becomes quieter, reduced to the shape of small routines and slow evenings. Here, the noise of the world fades, and life takes on a gentler shape. In this quiet corner of River Hills, success doesn't shine. It settles. This is the home he returns to, season after season, when the plane lands, when the adrenaline fades, when the world stops asking for something from him. It's the stillness that rebuilds him. Just beyond this calm, another part of his world takes form. The cars that carry him through every stretch of the year. Car collection. The BMW X6M came first. The dark, muscular SUV he was spotted climbing out of after practice. Wide stance, matte finish, and a growl that fits a man built on strength. Valued around $130,000, it became his early symbol of arrival in the league. Not a trophy, but a tool, a way to move through Milwaukee winters with confidence. Inside, the red leather cabin feels almost like a cocoon, a small pause between the chaos of games and the quiet of home. On a completely different note sits his Land Rover Defender, the white one he's leaned against in photos, legs crossed on the hood as if resting between chapters. Worth roughly $90,000, the Defender isn't about luxury, it's about freedom. Giannis uses it the way people use familiar shoes. Long drives outside the city, late-night escapes when he needs space to think, or slow afternoons when he just wants to disappear from the noise. It's the car of a man who once had nothing and still values movement over attention. The Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon arrived later, though fans remember the moment his teammates filled it with popcorn more than the car itself. Estimated at $150,000, it's the SUV that carries the duality of his world. Rugged enough for Milwaukee winters, iconic enough for a global star. But for Giannis, it's always been less about the statement and more about the laughter connected to it. Team pranks, long rookie year memories, and the reminder that even the biggest names in basketball are still just part of a locker room full of brothers. Then there's the BMW i8, the sleek hybrid coupe he once posed with in full Bucks uniform, doors lifted like wings on either side. Priced near $140,000, it's the closest thing he owns to a poster car. The i8 is fast, yes, futuristic too, but what Giannis loves most is the feeling of being young again, cruising like the kid who once biked through the streets of Athens, imagining a life bigger than anything he could touch. The i8 is not just a car, it's a quiet reminder of how far he's come. And finally, the Cadillac Escalade, the black, towering SUV he's often seen with when family is involved. Valued around $95,000, it carries the kind of strength and space his life now requires. A 6.2-liter V8, 420 horsepower, a 10-speed automatic, and a wide, steady frame built to hold the people who matter most. With 3 full rows and the soft quiet of magnetic ride suspension, it fits the father more than the athlete. Big enough for brothers, parents, kids, groceries, late-night airport runs. The Escalade is his home on wheels, the one that carries the people who shaped him long before any MVP trophy ever did. Together, these cars don't form a flashy collection. They form a timeline. A rise from early league years to global superstardom, from rides chosen for strength to rides chosen for calm. For Giannis, a car isn't status. It's part of the journey. Every mile, every laugh, every quiet escape marking another step in a life still climbing. From the roads that carried him this far, the story turns to something quieter. The ways Giannis gives back to the people and communities that shaped his rise. Philanthropy. For all the force he shows on the court, Giannis Antetokounmpo gives in a way that feels quiet, steady, and deeply tied to the world that raised him. Much of that work moves through the Charles Antetokounmpo Family Foundation, the nonprofit he and his family built in honor of his father. A foundation that has already directed over $1 million into education, housing, food security, and youth support across Greece, Nigeria, and the United States. During the COVID-19 shutdown, when arenas went dark and stadium workers suddenly lost their income, Giannis donated $100,000 to support Milwaukee's Pfizer Forum staff. Around the same time, he and his family sent 20,000 masks to communities in Zographou and Athens, offering the kind of help his own childhood neighborhood once needed. His commitment to Milwaukee deepened in 2023, when he funded $1 million in mental health services for residents facing emotional and psychological strain, a gift rooted in his own understanding of pressure and vulnerability. Through the Antetokounmpo Academy, he expanded opportunity further, channeling $250,000 into basketball training, education, meals, and life skills programs for underserved youth who often remind him of himself and his brothers. In Milwaukee's most challenging neighborhoods, his foundation has quietly provided essentials too. More than $75,000 in diapers, food, and supplies for struggling families through local missions and community partners. And in 2024 to 2025, Giannis and CAFF partnered with Habitat for Humanity, contributing $200,000 to help build homes for families facing housing insecurity in Milwaukee. giving them the stability he once fought so hard to find. All of it reveals a man moved less by fame than by responsibility. Someone who remembers every step it took to reach this point and chooses again and again to widen the path for others. His impact isn't measured in headlines, but in the lives quietly lifted along the way. But who is he when all of it finally goes quiet? The answer waits in the next part. His everyday life. The place where he gets to be himself. Personal life. Away from the noise of the league, Giannis lives with a simplicity that surprises people who only know him through highlight reels. His happiest moments rarely come from trophies. They come from being surrounded by the people who have shaped him from the beginning. Trips with teammates turn into long, easy days. Wandering through new cities, tasting food he's never tried, laughing in ways that only happen when the season slows down. In photos, he's almost always smiling, shoulders relaxed, as if the world finally leaves him enough space to just be himself. What grounds him most, though, is family. Every time he steps onto the court, he knows exactly where to look. Somewhere in the stands, there is his wife, holding their children, cheering with the steady warmth that has followed him from Greece to Milwaukee. Their presence doesn't just support him, it centers him. After a win, he lifts his boys onto his shoulders. After a loss, he leans into quiet moments with them, letting the noise dissolve into something manageable. When he's on his own, Giannis drifts toward the things that make life feel normal. A simple drink at a cafe, a quiet meal without schedules pressing in, a walk through a street where no one knows his name. He likes these breaks, the unlabeled hours where he can breathe, observe, and remember what it felt like to live without timelines and contracts. Those small pauses help him reset before the world pulls him back toward the game. His brothers remain a constant in his life, not just as fellow athletes, but as his truest circle. Around them, his guard drops completely. They joke, tease, share food, take messy photos, and celebrate wins in ways that look more like family reunions than professional milestones. Even after long flights and heavy stretches of the season, he finds energy around them. The kind of energy that comes from knowing you never have to explain who you are. And there are moments of softness too. A kiss exchanged through the railing after a game, a hug that lingers longer than expected, or the familiar way he wraps his arms around his wife in a crowded hallway. These are the scenes that define him more than any stat line. They show a man who doesn't hide emotion, who carries his family with him the same way he carries the ball, carefully, deliberately, never taking any part of it for granted. What stands out most about Giannis is the quiet strength he carries when the world isn't watching. A calm built from loyalty, hard work, and the people who've been with him from the start. He's earned this peace, and it shows in the life he's built around it. If you enjoy stories that go beyond the court and step into the real lives of the people behind this sport, feel free to follow the channel and comment the names you'd like us to do video. See you next time.